Unaspiring Rapper Podcast. What's good, bro?
Oh, not shit. Just, trying to stay connected.
Yeah, touche. We need Wi-Fi for just about everything. Is that right?
Bruh, tell me about it.
So, let's talk about this. We talked about it before, but I actually want to ask you a couple questions as far as we talked about snitching a whole lot before. So, street theory. I know you aren't a gang member. I know you aren't, that type of cat. So, what I do want to know is, you hanging out with some homies one day, a nigga accuses you of snitching, right? How do you handle that?
I would ask him what the fuck is he talking about? What are we talking about? Snitched on what and who? And show me and provide proof of this.
Right. Now, if he fails to provide proof, what's the next step?
And me personally, it depends on one, who the person is. Those things factor in. If it's one of the homies, it's like, one, we ain't finna be homies, and we probably gotta, take 5. Like, you ain't finna make that accusation on me. Yeah, now, in another sense, if you're gonna accuse me of that, you gotta take 5 for a second.
Okay. And I ask that because of this. This is an unfiltered podcast, right? It's not the unfiltered podcast, but it's an unfiltered podcast. So, as you know, a lot of the transcripts have been coming out lately, right? On the Nipsey Hussle and Eric Holder trial.
Right, yeah. We've been keeping up with those, yeah.
Right. So, by all accounts from every witness testifying, which is a whole nother episode, it looks as if he had called the guy, a snitch or whatever, and it kind of escalated from there, right? Right. But you got to come from it. So, and I'm saying from the street code, I don't live by a street code currently, because I'm not in the streets currently. But my curiosity just makes me think, what would I do in this situation? Because on the street level, if a boy handled his business, right, he got down where he got mad at, didn't he handle his issue, and isn't that the code of the streets, technically?
Correct.
So is everyone mad because of who it was?
I believe so. I think that's why.
Okay. So then, now my question to you is, how do you feel about that? Because if we going off the code of the streets, all boy did was handle his business, right?
Right. He did what niggas praise on record and what niggas praise in the street. He got down for his. He felt violated and, did what he did.
Did what he did, right?
Okay. Nigga had 2 things on him, So
2 things on him, handled his business, right? So
right.
After the diesel, because I remember hearing that originally, and I didn't know if all that was true, but coming out hearing that's actually what transpired prior to happening. I hate that it was him, but a boy handled his business the way he was supposed to handle his business, though. You know what I mean?
Me personally, if you accuse me of that and I have proof, then I'm coming back with the proof, and then we can get down. You know what I'm saying? From my understanding, from my understanding, I don't think that what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't. You ain't gotta kill a nigga right there on the spot when you're accused of it, but it can happen. Now, if he has proof to show otherwise, I'm finna run, go grab this paperwork so you can see that what you talking is some bullshit, and then we need to step around the corner. But clearly,
I wonder has any paperwork surfaced? I
ain't seen none. I haven't seen none. I've even looked it up before online.
Right. So okay. So then we won't make this too long of a pod today, but because it is Sunday. But I did when he's talking about snitching, for people who listening, maybe they're street cats, maybe they're not affiliates, maybe they just don't know, period. Let's give them a clear-cut definition of snitching and dry snitching. And is it snitching if you're a civilian, if you're an old lady? So, for example, how about you talk about dry snitching, and I'll talk about the snitching part of it if you want.
Dry snitching would be, let me think of a time I've been dry snitched on. It's a good example for that. That's going around the direct method of snitching. So I'm not going to tell on you I'm not going to say, hey, he robbed that store. I'm be like, that nigga 210 was coming out the store. I mean, it looked like he was up to something. You know what I mean? That's a form of dry snitching. That's not directly snitching, but alluding to this person did that. A lot of niggas dry snitch with women. Like, oh man, I seen, ain't that your man? Oh, I seen him. You know, he was at the club last night. That's dry snitching.
Yes. Snitching is me and you got this lick going on. I get popped before you, I guess you could say. And I implement you along with it. They may not have nothing on you or something like that.
Before or after.
Right.
We doing dirt and one of us tell on one another.
Mm-hmm. Even if you are a person who's moving the things and you telling the person where it's ultimately coming from, whether you met that person or not. Right. That's still.
You two are doing dirt collectively together, and you give up info to the authorities on that person. Now
to get yourself.
Go ahead.
No, you got it.
I was gonna say, yeah. Now, if you're a civilian, then it ain't no snitching. You're a law-abiding citizen. You see somebody break into a house, you call the police. Yeah, grandma didn't just snitch. Grandma's protecting her neighborhood. She's a civilian. She ain't moving them things. Now, if grandma's moving them things, then grandma snitched.